Now usually when you have your seatbelt on, it prevents you from going any further if you get into a wreck. But Esme didn't have her seatbelt on, so there was nothing stopping her from hitting the steering wheel. What the heck is this instrument, and why is it being seen in soccer venues around America? Now let's say in one night, you double that to 4 pints and 8 units, you're technically binge drinking. Well, who would have expected an outcome like today's? 41-34 is the final score, no less than 2 overtimes. The Texas Tech Red Raiders and another loss to the Kansas Jayhawks, who are now 1-9 under Charlie Weiss. And Zach, you could really define this game by just opposites. When the College of Media and Communications building was first opened, this parking lot wasn't here. But 1 month later, it goes up and helps put a small but efficient dent into the parking problem at an ever-growing university, right? Wrong. It's off limits to students. So with Coach Kingsbury taking over the reins at Texas Tech, the question on everyone's mind is he going to have a pass-heavy offense? Or is he going to change it up a little bit on the offensive side and have a run-oriented attack? Not only can you write, but you can also be a photographer, or you can pick up a video camera and become a broadcast journalist. Or you can just do a little bit of each. Meet Danae Couch, or what you may know her better as
Miss Texas 2012.
But did you know, when she's not on stage or touring across Texas and the greater United States, she's a major voice of reason fighting against the most abused drug among young adults and college students nowadays, and an issue that hits close to home for her: alcohol and binge drinking.
I had a family member who went to rehab in October of 2011, and it really shook myself and my family.
She reaches out through her program, The Unconscious Truth, which touches on the physical and legal effects of both underage and of-age binge drinking.
It's a way of making them aware of the dangers of underage drinking and of binge drinking, alcohol poisoning, and some of the legal effects that will befall them as well.
So what is binge drinking? Dr. Kitty Harris, the director of the renowned Center for the Study of Addiction and Recovery at Texas Tech, says in layman's terms that it's drinking for the purpose of getting drunk.
I think of it in terms of the intent and purpose, is that I'm going to drink not for the social aspect, but I want to drink for the intent and purpose to get drunk and to feel the way I want to feel.
So how much is too much? Well, the daily recommended limit for alcohol per day is 4 units or 2 pints of beer. Now let's say in one night, you double that to 4 pints and 8 units, you're technically binge drinking. And according to what experts say, you're seriously damaging your health long term. But with young adults nowadays, with the use of this device, it doesn't get much better.
Drop it.
The beer bong comes in all shapes and sizes and makes binge drinking literally effortless, with drinkers able to take down several drinks in just a couple of seconds. And if you drink enough in a certain amount of time, you can black out, where the mind shuts down and the drinker goes into a stage of amnesia, where bad decisions are made and are hardly ever remembered.
You know, I've worked with girls that will say, you know, I have no idea how I got to his apartment. I have no idea how I ended up without my purse.
Now before, I mentioned that binge drinking damages your health, and according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, it can damage your liver, increase the risk of certain types of cancer, cause heart damage, and in extreme cases, can lead to alcohol poisoning and death.
I actually had someone I know die from alcohol poisoning.
It's sad that so many kids' lives are ended due to their alcohol and drug use in college campuses.
But Harris says there is hope for those who think they are stuck in their binge drinking addiction and habits.
I've spent the last 30 years of my life working with people that were in some phase of addiction or recovery. And it works. Recovery works. Following a 12-step principle model of recovery works.
For the Daily Toreador, this is Andrew Nepsund signing off. It was an early December morning when Texas Tech Athletic Director Kirby Hocutt received an unexpected call from head football coach Tommy Tuberville.
He notified me at that time of his resignation and his intention to accept the job at Cincinnati.
So just 3 years after Tuberville came to Tech, he left the university searching for a new head coach.
It's important for us to find a winner and a leader who's going to motivate and encourage our student athletes to achieve the highest level possible.
And just a few days later, Hocutt and crew found that guy.
Red Raider Nation, welcome with me, your new head coach, Cliff Kingsbury.
It's good to be home. let me tell you, it's good to be home.
Cliff Kingsbury brought an identity to Tech football as a player, and at the young age of 33, he looks to bring it back to West Texas in his new position. And as one of the youngest coaches in the nation, he says he sees this as a positive.
Having played and played at this actual university, you can relate to the players, and you have some street cred when you talk about playing and things you've done.
Surrounding him are even younger coaches he's hand-selected, who also used to be Red Raiders, like Sonny Cumbie, Eric Morris, Mike Smith.
That's the way to work. Let's go.
Kevin Curtis.
Let's go, baby.
And Trey Haverty.
8-4 is average.
Positive energy type coaches, guys that are going to know about this place, know the culture of this place, and be able to attack, our weaknesses, the obstacles we have to overcome out here. It's a special place, and you kind of have to know the culture of it to really embrace it.
So with Coach Kingsbury taking over the reins at Texas Tech, the question on everyone's mind is he going to have a pass-heavy offense? Or is he going to change it up a little bit on the offensive side and have a run-oriented attack?
We take a lot of pride in adapting to the personnel, so once we get out there this spring, see what we have, we can kind of evolve our offense around that and go from there. But I could care less. We threw it every player in every play as long as we score points and make first down.
Either way, as the offensive coordinator in Houston, the Cougars led the nation in passing offense, and at the same position at Texas A&M, the Aggies led the SEC in rushing and had the first ever freshman Heisman Trophy winner. Add a Super Bowl ring onto that from the New England Patriots, and Kingsbury brings an already impressive resume to Tech and looks to add on to it even more by winning a Big 12 title as soon as this upcoming year.
No, we expect to win this year, and that's why I came here. I had a great job at the other place, but this is home for me, and I wouldn't come back if I didn't think we could win it this year.
And even if Tech doesn't get that elusive Big 12 title, Kingsbury says he wants to see his Red Raider squad give it their all every single game.
I want to make this team the best that we can be, and just after that 12th game, we sold out. We did everything we possibly could to have the best season we could.
KSAT 12 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking news right now, a fuel spill has closed all the lanes of northbound I-35 from Division to Theo and Malone. We're getting reports that traffic may be backed up as far as Zarzamora, a major traffic headache for drivers out there right now. Good evening, I'm Andrew Nepsund. That story coming up in just a minute, but first, new on the night beat, a man says whom he made the bomb threats to San Antonio International, telling his story only to us tonight. We've decided to share this conversation with you because even though he has talked to the chief of police, he says he doesn't want to go to jail. He understands his threat was a crime, and the fact that he won't turn himself in is why we want you to listen in hopes of identifying this man. Our Simon Gutierrez has more on this developing story.
I called here to let the people know who was the real person that made the threats. We were just doing that when we were drunk. We really had nothing to do, so we decided to chill out and do something funny. I told them that there was a bomb which was made of ammonium nitrate in the parking lot. And I told them we were going to blow that up. I told them we have left our bombs near inside 3 cars. We had to use some tricks, so the dogs were sniffing correctly, We had to pollute all those cars with some special chemical stuffs. My friend has got his degree in the chemistry. We have called to Walmarts and to different places. I'm just telling the truth now because I'm tired of doing that. I called the chief police of San Antonio, and I talked to them, and they want me to give it up and visit them in person. I'm really sorry for what I did. I hope they forgive me. That's all. I won't do that again. I won't.
We contacted the police department to ask about the caller. We have not yet heard back from Chief McManus. The caller did have a conversation with the chief that he recorded and shared with us. We will give the department a copy of our story to help them with their investigation. You can also find a longer version of our conversation with the man who calls himself Raul on our website. Just click on this story. Protesters right here in San Antonio participating in a national protest of Chick-fil-A as a response to the rally of support on Wednesday. The debate over the company's stance on gay marriage was sparked 3 weeks ago when Chick-fil-A CEO Dan Cathy revealed that the company donated millions to groups who oppose gay marriage. Today, a group of gay marriage supporters gathered at Chick-fil-A on Bandera and 1604 in protest. Today's demonstration comes 2 days after Chick-fil-A supporters flocked to the restaurant as a show of support in another nationwide event.
A number of my friends are gay and lesbian, and I think if I've had the right to be married for 23 years to my husband and have 3 beautiful children, that everybody should have that right.
And so we're out here expressing ourselves just like people express themselves on Wednesday in a peaceful and calm manner, just showing our support for our community and what we believe in.
The group held up signs that said things like "Eat More Equality," a twist on Chick-fil-A's "Eat More Chicken" slogan. Meanwhile, there are more protesters and boycotts across the country today against the company. Many featured gay couples kissing in front of Chick-fil-A locations this morning. Someone painted "Tastes Like Hate" on this Chick-fil-A in Torrance, California. The owner says nothing like this has ever happened before, and it's normally a quiet neighborhood. Police are investigating. 2 kittens just thrown in a dumpster. It's a case that Animal Care Services is looking into. While ACS officials cannot comment on the ongoing investigation, they say the alleged act of animal cruelty happened last week at this post office on Harlow Street. They say someone claiming to have witnessed the act called ACS to report it, and if the allegations are correct, that person could face charges.
We have some allegations of a cruelty case. We're looking at it. What we need to do now is to continue to talk to witnesses. If there's any additional witnesses that are out there that actually saw what allegedly occurred, we need them to come forward. Obviously, the witnesses are the foundation of our case.
The U.S. Postal Service is also not commenting on this issue, but say they are investigating. The National Jobs Report for July is out today, so how did the country do? Well, depends on who you ask. The report brought mixed news about the economy. The nation's businesses added 163,000 new jobs, which beat expectations, but the unemployment rate actually rose from 8.2 in June to 8.3 in July. That shows more people are actively looking. The jobs report quickly sparked a political throwdown. Speaking to a crowd in Nevada tonight, GOP presidential candidate Mitt Romney called it a hammer blow to the middle class.
These numbers are not just statistics. These are real people, really suffering, having hard times. 23 million Americans out of work or stopped looking for work or way underemployed. 23 million.
Meanwhile, President Obama said earlier today that people also went back to work in one of the 163,000 jobs that were created last month.
Those are our neighbors and family members finding work and the security that comes with work.
The president also acknowledged that there were too many people still looking for work. Well, that's going to do it for this KSAT 12 News Break. I'm Andrew Nepsund. Have a great day.
I didn't know you were a Cowboy fan.
Listen, I've been watching the Cowboys since I was, Roger Staubach time. The original shotgun, right?
Actor Rob Lowe just won up over 9,000 fans on hand today at Cowboys camp, the largest crowd ever to see the blue-white scrimmage, and that's counting the overflow crowd. DeMarco Murray looking to pick up where he left off, setting records his rookie season before he was forced to miss the last 3 games of the regular season with a fractured ankle. Des Bryant continues to impress. Look at this catch right here on the sidelines. The replacement ref ruling both feet got in bounds. And how about Tony Romo scoring in the red zone drill and letting everyone know it by practicing his end zone spike. And there is one part that does need improving: special teams, especially the punting game. Matt McBriar is gone. Chris Jones trying to replace him, and that is not going to get the job done.
It's good to get out here and test. We script a lot of stuff, offense, defense, so this is kind of good just to see no one knows what's coming from either side. And, it was good to battle.
We came out here as if it was a game, as far as stretching, warming up the whole thing, and it did feel like a game to me. And I talked to Sean, it felt like a game to him, and guys had a little bit more juice, and it was good for us to come out here and compete hard and get into different types of situations.
Before the scrimmage got underway, Cole Beasley was back on the field. He's a young man from SMU who was having second thoughts about playing football and left them temporarily for personal reasons. But after talking to Coach Garrett, receivers coach Jimmy Robinson, and his father, among others, Cole returned from Dallas today and decided it was time to get back to work and follow his dream of playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
I just had some personal issues that I had to go home and take care of, and now I'm back and ready to focus on football.
Do you feel like your heart is in it at this point?
Yes, sir.
Are you 100% committed to trying to make this work?
Yes, sir. I wouldn't be here if I wouldn't.
One major problem in Cowboys camp, the injuries are starting to mount up just the first week. At last count before the scrimmage today, 18 Dallas players are dinged up, including Miles Austin with another strained hamstring. You'll remember Miles missed 6 games last season with the same injury, and now the Cowboys tell us he's out for at least a week.
Communication is an important thing. He needs to communicate with us as to how he's doing. And sometimes when you're an undrafted free agent from Monmouth University and you're a Jersey tough type guy, you don't want to tell the coach anything like that. You say, Coach, I'm fine. And that's one of Miles' greatest strengths. Sometimes it can creep up in a negative way as well. So we got to monitor him better. We don't think it's going to be a serious thing. We're going to do everything we can not to let it linger.
Out in Houston, the Texans took the day off and got some rest from that brutal August heat. They did have some team meetings today as the Texans have wrapped up their first week of camp. And within that big names went down with injuries. But there is some good news on the horizon. Andre Johnson, Dwayne Brown, and Kareem Jackson are all set to return to practice tomorrow morning. And that has the team excited.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we need Andre back, you know, and thank God nothing was serious, and he'll be back ready to roll. And he plays well. This whole team plays well.
And starting Tuesday, KSAT 12 Sports will be in Houston for a few days covering Texans camp. That's going to do it for this KSAT 12 Sports Update. I'm Andrew Nepsund. Have a great day.